Welcome to this version of the UKG Dimensions Employee User Training. On July 19th, NHS will move its existing HR information and management systems to UKG Dimensions HR System. As an employee, you will be able to log into UKG to view and update your data. This includes personal information such as address, phones, emails, contacts, whether those be emergency, dependent, or beneficiary contacts. You'll be able to update, create, direct deposit information. You'll be able to update your tax withholding, both state and federal, and view benefit information and a link to VCI to see detailed information or to contact them for qualifying life events and enrollment. Some things will still be done the old way. Pay stubs can still be accessed via GreenShade's employee portal, and time off, vacation, earned time, sick, and personal can be seen using EmpowerTime web access. Future phases of UKG Dimensions include payroll, timekeeping, and scheduling in January of 2022, and absence and leave management in April of 2022. When we are live with UKG Dimensions on payroll, timekeeping, and scheduling in January, you will be able to access your pay stubs and your time off information directly on UKG Dimensions. Goals of this training are to show you around the system and to show you how to find help when you need it, log into the system, give you some basic system navigation instructions, perform employee HR actions, perform checklist items, and install and log into the mobile phone application. Finally, we want to get you used to using Dimensions. When we go live with timekeeping and scheduling in January, we will be able to do many things in the system and the app that you do manually today. So now for some course essentials. The first goal of this training is to let you know where you can find help and information after this training is completed. The first place is the Infonet and UKG Dimensions. Here we are on the Infonet homepage. When you scroll down on the right-hand side, you will see a UKG Dimensions icon. In this UKG Dimensions section, there are several areas that you can look for information. You can look at the training documents, and this will show you the slides from this training as well as the video of this training. You can also use frequently asked questions. Another section that is good for the general employee is how to. This will show you how to do various things, how to get into UKG, log into UKG, download and install the mobile application, and a few others. All of these systems and sections will grow over time as we use UKG Dimensions more and more. You can also use the help desk. The IS help desk team will be taking the exact same training that you're taking and that the managers have taken. There will be a level 2 IS staff member to take calls, particularly during the first 2 or 3 weeks of the go live. How do you access the system? Dimensions utilizes a single sign-on system. This is to say that the username and password for Dimensions is the same as the username and password that you use to log on to your network or terminal servers. Your username generally is firstname.lastname@nhsmanagement.com. Some of you may log in with firstname.lastname, and some of you may log into your network with firstname space lastname. In both cases, your login to Dimensions will be firstname.lastname@nhsmgt.com. When you are accessing Dimensions from a device not already logged into the networks, the network username and password will need to be supplied. The Dimensions system can be accessed in a few different ways. Single sign-on or auto login from a device logged into NHS network. You can use the terminal server icon, or you can go to the Infonet NHS applications and click the UKG Kronos system. The system will launch and will auto log you in. Your username and password when not logged into a device on the NHS network. This could be a web browser from your home computer or the UKG Dimensions mobile app. Course essentials. There are some things that we want you to start doing, stop doing, and continue doing, and this is a way to help you understand where things are changing and where they are not. With regard to onboarding, HR, and benefits, we want you to continue to access GreenShades to view your pay stubs. We want you to continue to access EmpowerTime web access to view accrual or time off data. We want you to start using Dimensions to view and make changes to personal information such as address, phone numbers, dependents, and beneficiaries. We want you to start using Dimensions Benefits section to view current benefit elections and benefit documentation. And we want you to start accessing Dimensions on a regular basis to see any communications to you or actions that need to be taken by you. So let's log in and start looking at the system. One of the ways we talked about accessing Kronos Dimensions is from the InfoNet. So if we go to NHS Applications, at the very top you'll see UKG Kronos System. Now I'm currently logged into my desktop, so I expect the system to directly log me in to the Kronos application. And this is what that looks like. You'll notice that I have several tiles here in the main section of my home page. I have a few controls on the top right-hand side and on the left-hand side. So let's talk about tiles first. Tiles allow you to see information right up front. They don't necessarily require you to get to information this way, but it is a nice way to see things right up front that you might be interested in. For right now, you have benefits, and right now it shows no data to display here. But if I had my benefits loaded into the system, which we will by the time we go live, I would see all my benefits listed here. And if I went to my benefits down here, I would be able to see more details about exactly what my benefits are. I can also come over here to the BCI tab, and you'll see the phone number there if you need to call them for support in making elections or if you need to do a qualifying life event. Additionally, you have the URL here, which will launch you to the BCI main site to log in. And when your first name dot your last name at nhsmgt.com, and then you would use the last four of your social security number, a 2-digit birth month, and a 2-digit birth year. Here you can see benefit information, your confirmation statement, your open enrollment benefits guide, as well as a lot of documents concerning the various benefits that you have and forms. Let's go back to the Kronos main screen. So here we are again at the home screen. You can see that it's my home screen because I have profile up here and it says Stephen Locke on it. Your profile will have your name here. And you have another section called My Notifications. My Notifications goes directly to this bell over here on the right hand side. There are two ways to get notifications in the system or to read them. The first is the bell, which will give you a list of everything that you have that's open or unread. You'll see I have a checklist created item here, which is an HCM notification over here. And I have a checklist item with a go-to, which is an actual to-do, which is in the HCM to-do section. If you have a lot of notifications, you may want to use the My Notifications section more than the bell because it will allow you to break them down and see all of your to-dos in one section. Okay, so that's tiles and that's notifications. You also have a help button here. This help button will take you to whatever help you need for the screen that you're on. Here at the bottom you will see a number of documentation, sometimes videos. There's some videos here for navigation, so some of the things that I'm telling you now are in these videos. There are also how-tos here in terms of managing tiles and managing charts and using the tile library. I recommend that you look at these to get yourself more familiar with some of the details of using tiles and how to navigate and change this configuration. Finally, there is the main menu. The main menu, which has got a lot of things on it right now, because I have access to the entire system, will have just a few things in it. For most of you, it will just have my information down here. And for those who work in other areas as managers, you might have my team, you will have HR, you may have recruitment, as well as my information. This is the main way in which you access items in the system that are not on this main screen. Finally, you have the home button. So if I was to go to this item here, HCM to-dos, and you see my entire screen changes, but I always have the home button at the top. So if I want to get back to the home page and start over with my navigation, I can go here. You'll also note that the main menu bar is always there. So let's talk about employee HR actions. There are several HR actions that can be initiated by you, the employee, via My Information, My HR, and the HR Actions tab. These include updating of address and personal information, updating your affirmative action requests if you so desire, updating emergency contact information. All three of these actions are auto-approved once you submit them, and Kronos is updated automatically. There are actions that you can initiate but require approval by the FSA. These include direct deposit setup or changes and name changes. So let's look at where we can find that now. To find employee HR actions, we go to the main menu. We then come down to My Information and then My HR. And under the My HR, there are a number of tabs, and we would go to HR Actions. Here you see items that are open for me to work on or that I'm thinking about submitting myself. I also have items that I have submitted, but over here on the Available tab is where I want to go if I want to start one. And you can see each of the 5 HR actions is listed here. I have address and personal information update. I have the affirmative action update, which is a large section with a lot of documentation. Then I have the direct deposit change. I have emergency contact update and name change. Now I'm going to start a name change so I can show you how to upload documents to the system. So right here, I'm going to click Start, and you'll see that I have a menu item over here that says, hey, what are the name changes going to be? And then it says, please upload a copy of the documentation by clicking the Upload Document button. So I can first, let's just say that I like Stephen, but I want to be called Steve. And then you have the upload, and I can get to that by just clicking Continue. Now if I wanted to update or upload a document, I could do that. So if I've scanned a document and I have it available on my hard drive or somewhere on my system, so I can upload this document. I'm going to choose my document, in which case I'm just going to take here the mobile app error message, and I'm going to click Open. And I'm going to pick a document type. In this case, the document type is just going to be a system document. And I'm going to type a display name of tests. And I can upload that. Now it's uploaded, and I can see it down here. I can also do other things to it. If I use this ellipsis, I can delete it if I want to. I can also return and download the document or look at the entire history of that download. In this case, I'm just going to delete it because that's really not something I want up on my record. And that's how you do a document upload if you have the document in an accessible place on your file system. However, you may find it easier to use the mobile application because the mobile application will allow you to use your camera on your phone to take pictures of documents and attach them automatically. So keep that in mind. If you don't have access to your file system, or if that just is more troublesome than you'd like, you can always use the UKG Dimensions mobile application to start a name change or any HR action you want. And if you need to upload a document, you can do that as well. Okay, let's talk about checklists. Checklists are a series of tasks that are assigned to an employee to accomplish. So you will be given a checklist. If you were a new hire, you'd be given a checklist of items that you would like you to do, like go through your personal information, do your tax forms, those sorts of things. A new hire checklist will be assigned to every new hire. A new hire checklist contains every form and HR action that can be initiated by the employee, with the exception of the name change. The checklist will also be assigned upon go live or is needed for employees to update information in a timely way. In fact, every employee will receive a checklist on the day we go live, and that will be for you to update your personal information. So if you remember, I'm just going to go back to the home page here. Yep, I want to leave it. All right, so we're going to back at the home page now. And remember I said that you're going to get notifications. So I have notification over here, and I can look at this one, and I can look at checklist created, and I can see that it just says, Dear Stephen D. Locke, a checklist, personal information update, has been created for you on 7/10/2021. Thank you. So it's just a notification. When we are live, you'll get notifications like this in two ways. One way is obviously in the Kronos system itself. And if you have set up an email in the system, which I will show you in just a second, then you will get an email at that email address for this item. It'll look exactly like what you just saw on the right-hand side. So you don't necessarily have to be inside the UKG Dimensions or Kronos system to receive a notification. You'll also receive a notification in the form of a to-do item. So in this case, I'm going to go over here, and here I have a to-do item, and it says checklist item, personal information update. And see, I can say here, and I can go down here at the bottom, and I can go to checklist, and I can click personal information update, and I can do all that information over here. So I find that personally hard to do. So I am going to go here, click on the item, and then click Go To up here in the right-hand corner. And that's going to bring it up full screen. So it's a little easier to navigate. It's a little easier to see. And I will just go down here at the bottom and say Go to Checklist. And here's how the checklist looks. There's only one item for me to do, and that's my personal information update. So I'm going to go through this. Personal information update, you see my birthday, the cell phone, my home phone, my primary email. Now I happen to have company email, so I put that in here. But if you have a personal email where you'd like to be notified of things and communications, please put that in there. But if you have a company email, please use that as your primary email. It has my address. I check that. That all looks good, and I click Continue. And now you see I have a spouse and 2 children as contacts. And my spouse is set up as the emergency, the beneficiary, and the dependent contact. So if I was to add something new here, this is what this looks like. I can make this person my primary contact, and my wife is set up as my primary contact. A contact can be an emergency contact, a dependent contact, or a beneficiary contact, or any combination of those 3 things. You just put the information in. You need the relationship, the work phone, some information. You say which one is primary by clicking on this radial button, so you can have all of them in there. But if you prefer to be notified at your work phone, then by all means click that. You'll need the Social Security number for those people who are going to be getting benefits or become beneficiaries. The email address, if you want that there. All this other information is not mandatory because you don't see a red star by it. And then you click Save, and then that person is set up as a contact. All of your contact information will be uploaded on a regular basis to BCI, Benefit Communications, which is where we elect and maintain and manage our benefits. So if they are uploaded to BCI, then you can use them. You can sign them as a beneficiary on life insurance policy or as a dependent covered under one of your insurances. And once you get done with all that, you click Submit, and you're done. And that's the personal information checklist. So let's go back and talk a little bit about the app itself. Now I don't have the ability to show you the actual application, but I can show you the instructions that are out on the InfoNet. And so I'm going to go there. Here I am back at the InfoNet home, and I can go down to NHG or UKG Dimensions. And in the How-To section, you may recall, there was a how to download and install the application. So I'm going to bring this up and we can walk through it a little bit. Remember, it's always available to you. Okay, so here's the first thing you would do. The first thing you do is to launch the Workforce Dimensions app or install it. So go to your Google Play Store or your Apple Store and type in UKG Dimensions, and you will see an app that looks like this. And you just click the download, and you'd upload it or download it onto your phone. And then when you do that and you launch it, it's going to ask you for a tenant URL. This is the tenant URL right here. You can type it in yourself, which is probably what you're going to want to do because it's a little difficult to cut and paste to a phone. So just go ahead and type that in and be careful about it. Okay? And once you've done that, you're going to come and you're going to see this NHS Management and sign in with your organizational account. Remember, your first name dot your last name at nhsmgt.com. What you see here is slock, which happens to be my username for the network, but most of you, it's first name dot last name at nhsmgt.com. And your password is your network password, the same thing you use to log into email or to your network or to your PC and your terminal server. Everyone in the company has one of these accounts, and everyone in the company's accounts matches what's in UKG. And once you're in there, you'll see something that looks like this. And it looks kind of similar, doesn't it? A home button, it has the main menu, it has your notifications icon, it even has help and those sorts of things. And so these are examples of the tiles that you see out there already. If you click on these tiles, they'll do exactly the same thing. But everything you can do on the app, at work, or on Google Chrome or anything else, you can do in the UKG Dimensions mobile app, include receiving and acting on actions and those sorts of things. So just be aware that this tool will be very, very strong for you. And when we get to timekeeping and payroll, when you can look at and see your schedule on here, when you can accept shifts on here, when you can fix your time card, then you will really want to have access to this application and be familiar with using it. Okay, so what's next? Well, first, please accept our thanks of the entire leadership team for things that you do for our residents and our employees every day. Help each other out. But if you can think of any way we can make the system even more capable of helping you to do your jobs, or if you notice a problem, please call the IS Help Desk and let us know. Always report problems to the IS Help Desk if you can, because that lets us know where things need to be fixed. Finally, make sure that when you get access on July 19th that you go in as soon as possible and complete your personal information update. Later, we will assign checklists for you to update your state tax settings and to do your federal withholding. We appreciate your time and your attention to this matter, and we look forward to talking with you soon. Thank you.